How's everyone doing? I'm Josh Snider, and this is Thoughtful Discussions, and I'm here with
Matt Metrovich.
and
Xavier Thomas.
awesome, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on, what they're doing, what's coming up next, what it's like in Pittsburgh, and what's next in Pittsburgh. So, first question for both of you: what is it you do, and what has been going on? I'm going to start with you, Xavier.
Um, I'm a photographer and a husband and a dad, and I stay at home with my kids. I take pictures, and I love my wife. That's it.
It's good work.
Yeah, it's great work.
Nice. And how about yourself?
Should I take this?
Yeah.
I just say digital artist because I do like photo and video, and then like in between, and then I also do like physical events. So I'm creating events and like putting together physical art pieces now too. So, but it's all based on technology and my enthusiasm for it and like sci-fi and stuff. So
Gotcha.
that's what I like to do.
Awesome. So what is something you're doing right now, and how did you get to that point? And either one of you can go.
We'll just go back and forth. So I'll let you go.
Well, now I'm shooting like concerts and hopefully some weddings.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm shooting like concerts. Like I just shot Thrival Festival,
Yep.
and that was awesome.
Oh, yeah?
And you asked me what I'm doing now and how I got there.
Yeah, like how'd you start out? What put you in the position to where you're at now?
Okay. All right. Well, when I moved to Pittsburgh, I started shooting concerts actually, and then it started with the Strip District Music Festival.
Okay.
It was like the beginning of 2016,
Yep.
and I went with Palermo Stone. And, I had so much fun, and then after that, I just like decided to start talking to everybody, and then that at Thrival, that was Wiz Khalifa and Logic and DJ Carnage. So like, I think his name is DJ Carnage. So like, I don't know how I got there, just shooting concerts.
Love it.
And parties and talking to people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
So you were just in Vegas. You've been to New York.
Yeah.
You've been to L.A. You've shot for Wiz before, right?
Yeah.
And like, tell me a little bit about those trips. Like, what
Uh,
are you doing when you're there? What's your on time like? What's your off time like? Like,
Well, when I went to New York, I was going with my friends anyway.
Okay.
Like I was going up there with who did I go there? I went with Mike and Skeeter, and we was just like going to kick it because I haven't seen them in a long time. And then I was like, man, my friend who is with a security guard, his name is Lonnie. He was up there at the same time. I was like, yo, bro, I'm up here. Like, what's up? And then he hit me, and I went to the studio like one of the last nights I was up there. And it was at Atlantic Record Studio. We kicked it. It was fun. Like he made this song that was so hard. Like it was so hard. I hope it's on the album because like
Yeah?
I be bumping to the little.
But that was a
clip.
recording studio.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a music studio. It was
Alright.
dope.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then it was like 3 or 4 days later that you're like, I need to buy a plane ticket and go to L.A.
Yeah,
You got the
yeah.
invite.
Yeah, word. It was right after 420. So
Okay.
like it was cool. I went to LA, and that was my first time going to California too. So like
Nice.
that was awesome. And we got there. What did I do when I first got there? Oh well, when I first got there, I was trying to figure out how to get to like the Beverly Hills part from the airport because
Right.
I was by myself, and it was a little bit intimidating. I
There's
just
a lot going on, man.
yeah, I
There's
just
a
sat
lot.
at the airport for like a half hour, and just like, man, what am I about to do? So I went to this camera store because my backpack like had a hole in it, and like I was like, nah, man, like stuff's working. I can't just be going around with a holy backpack. Like, but
Right.
it was my favorite backpack, so I kept it. But I had to go buy a camera bag, and then the Lonnie came and picked me up. And we went to Wiz's house, and then we went to a show. And afterwards, we came back, and I got on a plane home. So like,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, like my downtime, I'm probably editing or like eating. I don't really like do nothing in my downtime.
Right.
Like I be chilling.
Right on.
Word.
How about yourself? How'd you get started? And like, what was your like? When did you first get into photography? I'll give him this one. When did you first get into photography? What kind of what drove you there, and what have you been doing, like since you started and where you're at now?
Cool. So I'll just start from the beginning, I guess. All the way through like school, I planned to like elementary, middle, high school.
Yep.
I planned to go to like computers and like go for like technology and stuff.
Yep.
And then like my senior year of high school, I picked up a camera for the first time and immediately fell in love with it.
Nice.
And I have like tunnel vision, so when I like I can only focus on one thing at a time.
Okay.
So when I got really into photography, that's all I focus on, like photo and video and like creating stuff with the camera.
Right.
And then I also around that time got my Eagle Scout through Boy Scouts.
Okay.
And at my Eagle Scout like ceremony, I met a guy named May Alaquiva, and he got me into the Pittsburgh, like he's a director and a videographer.
Okay.
And he runs like a Emmy award-winning company, all this crazy stuff. He's a really cool guy. But he kind of introduced me to the video world and like kind of got me into it while I was still in high school.
Gotcha.
So I would leave. I got a work permit in high school, so
Yeah.
I would leave my senior year of high school and at like noon and commute to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in like South Hills.
Okay.
So I would commute to Pittsburgh, and then I just started freelancing like as an independent contractor for him, and then that got me more gigs through other people.
Yep.
And then I really thought about it and thought about like as a personal brand where I wanted to go with it.
Yeah.
So I took my interest from technology and sci-fi and stuff like that, because that's like I love stuff like that and like video games and stuff.
Yep.
So I started creating photography like that because that's ultimately what I wanted to do. So through different routes, either whether it's like live like concerts and stuff, because lighting is incredible with those,
Right.
or going to studios and like setting up my own lights, or even like street photography,
Right.
using like different elements of like using like glass to bend light and stuff. I found ways to create my own like cool personal photography, and then I've started getting commissions off of that, and like it went from photography to video to now I'm creating real events and
Yeah.
like curating them.
Right.
So I've been able to build this like personal brand out,
Right.
while also doing like commercial stuff that I don't really like push socially, like or like online or anything. I just do that, which is bread and butter, and then I do this stuff artistically.
Right. What do you think is next for you? Where do you see yourself in the next 1 year to, you keep that one, 1 year to 5 years, 3 years, whatever? What's something that you hope that you're going to be doing in that amount of time different than what you're doing now?
Well, I'm incredibly optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I believe anything is possible now.
Right.
So like I think like in 5 years, I don't think I'll like live in Pittsburgh. And
Well, real quick.
like
So how many years has it been since you moved to Pittsburgh?
I've lived here December of 2015.
Okay.
And
So almost 2 years.
Yeah, about to be
And
2 years.
before that, you were in Youngstown?
No, I was in
You were in
Uniontown.
Uniontown,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And life was a little bit rough.
Man, yeah.
Turn stuff around. You turned it around.
Yeah, bro. I used to like being into some street stuff. So
Yeah.
like it's like
When did you do photography then, or did you know you had an eye for it and you were just like, I gotta stop doing that. I'm gonna go to Pittsburgh and do this.
I started it because my friends were rappers.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like shoot their music videos. Like
Right.
I wanted to do that. So I had some money and I grabbed the camera, and
Yep.
then I realized that like videos sucked. Like
Yeah.
the editing, I was like, oh my goodness. So I didn't want to do it anymore. But
Yeah.
that was around like the same time that smartphones were like getting good cameras too. So like I was like taking pictures of the sunsets. I would like stop and park. So I was already shooting pictures while I had a camera, but I wasn't using my camera. And then I started to, and I liked it. So I was like doing it in Uniontown, but
Yeah.
it's a small town, and like nobody's really doing anything that they need pictures. So it was kind of like just not moving at all.
Right.
And then I got married, and my wife is from here. So
Okay.
like after a year living in Uniontown, we decided to move here.
Yeah.
And I shot my first concert like a month later.
Yep. What are some of the places you've been published?
I got on Double XL,
Yep.
The Source, hot new hip hop. What's the good? On the rough. I got on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shout out to Alex. I got on. What else have I been on? I've been on New Pittsburgh Courier.
Nice.
I want to say, bro, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff. We actually just started, like cutting clippings and like trying to get like a database of what I've been featured in
Right.
because I'm not really sure. Like, and Genesis Magazine, they
Genesis.
they were
Shout out to
actually,
Thomas.
believe it or not, they featured me before I even moved to Pittsburgh.
Really?
Like, because
They had you on the radar.
yeah, and
That's good.
it was through some rappers from Uniontown.
Okay.
Moolah Gang, they were in Genesis Magazine and they used my photos.
Yeah.
So it was like I was in there a long time ago. Like,
Gotcha.
but they were the first ones actually.
Nice.
That's kind of cool. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Heck yeah, man.
yeah.
That's awesome. And for you, like, where do you see your, like, for where you're at right now, what do you think, if there's an accomplishment that you could have in the future, what would that be? What would that look like?
Shoot. I guess in the future.
You knew this was coming.
Yeah, I know, and I've been thinking about the whole time, and it's still, I don't know. I guess it would be being able to take my brand, like the personal brand and like the sci-fi takeover, the creative takeovers, being able to take that to the next level and being able to host like, I guess, events or
Okay.
Exhibitions all the time.
Yep.
And being able to work with other artists because I know I can't do it alone. And
Right.
it's not about me. It's about like who I can bring together to create something cool.
Right.
So being able to elevate that to new levels and create more events and more, like, I want to be able to start shooting like short films and eventually get into like bigger productions and stuff with video as well.
Yeah.
I'm currently at film school at Point Park as well.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that I'm
Yeah.
still in school. But I would just like to elevate it to a new level and hopefully like branch out from Pittsburgh and like visit other places and be able to do the same work there that I do here. And just continue the brand into new levels.
Yeah. Gotcha. What are some people that you've worked with, and how have they helped you grow?
Ben Petrel, who you
Yeah.
had on last week.
Yeah.
I've been working with him ever since like I started like working in Pittsburgh. Like one of the first events I went to, I met Ben,
Okay.
and it was like spot on. He's like, I've seen you do video work. Do you want to come to Costa Rica with Have Fun Do Good? And like right
love
on
it.
the spot, like I was working for Have Fun Do Good with a travel company, like
Yes.
traveling the world and like doing crazy stuff. And
Yes.
that was incredible. And I love working with that because that changed how, like, because they do like volunteer stuff.
Right.
So it was so fulfilling to work with them because not only do we get to travel and do all kinds of cool stuff like that, but we get to volunteer and be good people at the same time. So it was fulfilling.
Awesome.
But then, who else have I worked with? I work with, I don't know, all kinds of incredible people.
Yeah.
Cody Baker and Chancellor Humphrey, shout out to them because all their events, without like their block parties and stuff, which I use as networking events,
Right.
without those, I
Great.
wouldn't know all the people that I know in Pittsburgh. So, like, working with them is awesome. And being able to, like, see what they do behind the scenes is cool.
Right.
And
We've all had some good times. Shout out to Clocked Out at Hotel Monaco.
yeah.
Creative Drinks. That's always moving around, but
Mhm.
definitely anyone watching, make sure you check that out if you're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and what else? More recently, I've been working with. I've been doing some stuff with Lux Creative,
Yeah.
Martin Potosny,
Yeah.
and has been awesome because he knows what I like to do, and
Yeah.
he likes to do like the same thing, but like
Okay.
a different area of it, and it's so cool to like work with someone of that prestige, and he's just such a cool person to work with, and I'm working on another like physical art piece with him,
Cool.
for an event he's putting together.
Nice.
But yeah, super excited to work with him. But yeah,
Sweet.
all kinds of cool people.
And then for you, who have you been working with, and like who's stood out as someone that's like maybe either like mentored you or pushed you, and like where you're at with that?
Well, somebody who's mentored me extremely. His name is William James. He's a former NFL player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and New York Giants, the 49ers, and I'm not 100% sure what else, but
Okay.
he's from Brownsville, so he was like the Brownsville hometown hero, kind of. But I didn't know him as that. I was introduced to him as a fashion designer,
Okay.
and he was like really doing good things in the community, and I reached out and volunteered, and through that he really
And took you under the wing and
yeah
helped you out?
yeah.
What are some of the lessons, or what are some of the things that stand out to you?
Focus like
My mom's watching me.
Nice. I
But
love
yeah.
it. Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to my mom for watching this.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
But yeah, his thing was focus and just because he, like I said, he played football, and one of the examples he gave me that stuck with me was he said, if I'm not focusing for one play, then they can score a touchdown and I might lose my job. Like,
Yeah.
and that it like. And then I was like, oh, I got to treat everything like a play in the NFL. Like,
Right.
I want to get these pictures done. All right, I can't stop. I just can't stop. I got to keep doing it,
Right.
doing it.
Right.
Or I'm at a party and it's like really popping, or like something's like trying to distract me.
Yeah.
I just got to do it. I just got to do it. And that really, really, really stuck with me. And like his like work ethic,
Mhm.
like he just worked hard. Like it was inspiring. So he was a really good mentor for me.
Nice.
Like, I would actually say him and my pastor. His name
Okay.
is Alfred Thompson at St. Paul's in Uniontown.
Okay.
That's my man.
Yeah?
Like, yeah. He took me under his wing first.
Nice.
Yeah.
What would you say his number one lesson was? The pastor.
I don't even think he really said it, but like
Yeah.
being humble.
Yep.
Like he's like, I think he's rich, but I can't tell. Like, because he's
That's
like,
how you want it to be.
yeah,
That's the goal.
You know what I'm saying? He's like that humble. That's what I mean. Like,
Right.
that's why I said I don't think he said it, but like I think he's like rich because he ain't never had a broke moment.
Yeah.
But like, and he's like got new stuff. So I was like, I wonder how much Uncle T got. But then like but he's like he never has a moment of ego. That's
Yeah.
like. So it was just like, all right, I could appreciate that because like
Right.
I never really saw that growing up. Like
Gotcha.
everything was flashy.
Right.
Like, so
I get that. Classy over flashy.
yeah,
Yeah.
word.
Got it. That's good. What do you think Pittsburgh has played a part in have you seen it change over the last few years, and like what's your perception of it, either from like an arts perspective or just the community in general, whether it's like promoters or business people that you're working with or other photographers, whatever. Like what's your perspective on like where it's been and where it's going?
I feel like in Pittsburgh, the like current top dog photographers, and like I don't really know who to say is that, but I'm just like the way people approach me.
Yeah.
I feel like they are kind of not like confrontational, but I don't think they're open because like
Yeah.
the like people who aren't like popping on the internet and like their heads big or something, like the photography community is dope. Like
Yeah.
it's really dope. Like there's like everybody's like kind of reaching out. I see people doing photo walks together, like just
Yeah.
different single collabs, but like just and even myself, like once you get a little bit more popularity, you just start going to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like I think the community itself is really, really dope, like the photo community, but I think the like pillars need to get more involved. Like 'cause
Gotcha.
there are some really dope people that I never see in nothing. But
Gotcha.
I think they should be there. So
Okay.
it's like but Pittsburgh in general, just the art scene
Yeah.
is they love people. Like they're
Yeah.
a really loving place. Like
Yeah.
like they're I've only moved here 2 years ago, so I don't know how much if it's like changed or anything. But like since I've been here, they've been treating me cool. Like everywhere I go is bro. Even you, like we met within the last 2 years, but we talk and you give me advice about real things. You like really try to help out, and that's like that's what the whole community feels like. So I categorize it as love.
I love you're getting that love. That's good.
Word. That's what I categorize it as. If I'm asked out of town, like Pittsburgh feels like love. Like it's dope. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Word.
That's awesome. How about you?
I would second everything he says. I think Pittsburgh is like a small town disguised as a city. I think everyone like really supports each other, and it's so cool to be able to work with so many people. And like usually, if I reach out to someone, I get a response, and that's so cool. Especially if you're like, hey, I'm from Pittsburgh, and then they're like, oh, you're okay, definitely, you know, because Pittsburgh is very supportive of Pittsburgh, and anything with Pittsburgh on it, Pittsburgh is going to like flock to it. Like, I think our community here is really supportive, and that has really helped me as far as I've been here 2 years, like doing stuff as well, so about the same amount of time. And
where'd you come from?
Finleyville, which is like a half hour south of Pittsburgh, I guess, like South Hills area.
Right.
But so I grew up outside of Pittsburgh.
Got it.
So I've
It's
been
like
here.
South Washington County.
Yeah, Washington County.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I grew up.
Gotcha.
But so since moving and living in Pittsburgh, this community is like always like available. Like I can usually when I go outside and like go to Market Square, I run into like 10 people I know. Like it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
As far as like a small business scene, the community here, like from my perspective, having a print shop, like I know it's a little bit different. I am still kind of in the arts. I do printmaking, but it's definitely on a totally different perspective because I'm more in the finishing process, or I'm helping with people that are producing an event and I'm getting them, you know, posters or flyers or whatever. And but as far as the community goes, I've seen like a lot of people. Like I feel like I'm the luckiest guy ever. I get to work with super awesome people doing super awesome things, and you know I get to. What's up? You got something on that?
He gets to work with super awesome people and do super awesome things because he is the best. That's why. Because he got the best print shop. That's why.
I appreciate it, but it takes a lot of hard work, and we're constantly working to do better and better. But it's the community here I've seen is just astounding. There are people here and there, but that aren't great. That's gonna happen anywhere. But overall, I mean, I feel like I'm super lucky, and like this community is very supportive. So shout out to Pittsburgh. We love you. It's been a lot of fun. I moved here 6 years ago, so we're all kind of. You guys are closer. I moved from Southern California, so I'm definitely a little bit farther. But I love it here. I think this community is great. Tell me about Ryan Brown, RB. Make sure you have fun, TM, and some of his events. How's that been for you?
Man, yo, I've shot so many of RB's parties since I've been here, and one of the Spirit Hall is where he shoots at a lot. Like I love Spirit Hall. Yeah. And I said shoots. That's where he throws his parties a lot, I should say. Right. And that's his parties have made Spirit Hall my favorite venue to shoot at because I'm so familiar with it that I like kind of know how to get the shots I want, no matter what they're like doing there. Okay. And but his parties, particularly wherever they're at, are dope. Like, and I don't know how long he's been doing it or like if he has a specific strategy. I think it's just more he knows everybody, and then everybody's like, "Yo, that's RB's thing," and then everybody's like, "What's a RB thing?" And then like it just goes crazy because it's fun. Like the crowd that he draws, it's like it's so far reaching. Like he'll get the coolest to the weirdest and to the like most. He'll even get like you'll go to his parties and you'll see like some old people, like some like whole like who brought their moms to the club, but they're like whole chilling and they're vibing. You don't even notice, but it's like
His mom came to the first tilt.
see. I
It was
told you.
awesome.
See, and yeah, I was about to say, and I'm sure it was perfectly fine.
It
Matter
was.
of fact,
It was
wasn't
cool.
the first tilt the crazy one?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was
Room
the crazy
16.
one. Right? Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, those pictures. Yeah. I whenever I share this, I'm gonna share those pictures too, because
Good. that
was intense.
sounds good.
Like, then that's all of our beach parties.
I love it.
Like, yeah.
I'm gonna take it back a notch to a little bit more like small business. What was the deciding factor when you decided that like, hey, I can work for myself, and what did that look like? Like, what was your train of thought? What were you going through that made you like give you the push to say like either I can do this or I will do this or I want to do this? Like, what was that moment?
Bro, I said earlier, I'm like super optimistic,
Yeah.
and like I tried to have a job when I was younger.
Yep.
And I hated it. Like, I didn't understand it for real. Like, how you could just give somebody that much time and get so little. Like, I quit my first job after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, as a matter of fact, I didn't even quit. I had some girl call and quit for me. Like, it was, I hated it. And then, just like being honest, I sold drugs. So I was already working for myself. And then when I got saved and decided I was done with that,
Yeah.
I was doing photography too. And
Okay.
then my wife was like, it's going to be a job or you're going to have to take this serious. And
Right.
then I started to take
she
it
was
serious.
the pushing factor.
Oh, yeah. She put the foot down on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So she believed in you.
No, yeah, she believed in me before I believed in myself. Like, yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah.
That's my baby.
I know you said that before.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, she definitely is a big part of the reason that I'm like sitting here.
Yeah.
Like right now. Yeah, that's my baby.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome. Shout out.
yeah. Shout out Danielle.
I love it. And how about for you? Like, when you first started, like, what was the moment that you either realized or decided? Like, how was it? And where was your headspace like?
I'd say getting into like video and photo and stuff was a very like natural progression. It worked. It just like worked out.
Yeah.
Because I got into photography and video and stuff in, like I said, in like high school, right at the end of high school.
Okay.
And just kept honing my skills and focusing on it, and like that's all I thought about. I'd come home and like study and research. Like I didn't have any photography classes or anything in high school. It was all like self-taught.
Yeah.
So it was all out of like just passion for it. Like I just got obsessed with it and like continued to focus on it. And actually just getting into the photography and video field was just, it felt like a very natural progression. But then when I decided to become the whole like Metro thing, like the whole like brand, the Metro Digital thing that I use as an alias.
Right.
That was like a big step because I was like, I wasn't sure how to approach it or like how to go from just like doing like general work and like I don't know how to describe that. Like going, I don't want to say general work because videography and photography is an awesome field.
Yeah.
But how to like go from like doing just anything and doing like picking up normal like photography gigs and stuff, and then going from trying to do my own stuff and getting commissions for that.
More branded, more
artistic.
Like,
weird.
It had your style. To
Yeah,
it, rather
exactly.
Than just like I'm gonna do what you want. You're more so gonna do what you want.
Yeah.
You as the artist want, not what the customer wants.
That took a lot. That part of it took a lot of like back and forth in my head. Like, should I even do this? Should I like? Because I thought about it a lot, and I was like, should I even try? And I feel like with like Xavier, I'm dangerously optimistic.
Yeah. You have to be.
Yeah. And
as a small business, anything entrepreneurial or small business or whatever, like you have to be so optimistic, so sure of yourself. It's almost annoying, but at the same time, like you're always gonna have doubt. You're always gonna like, is this really gonna work? And then like you just go for it and you do it, and you're hopeful, and then hopefully it works. You know, there's a big chance it doesn't, and that's what you got to fight through. But the ones that fight through it are the ones that make it. So
Yeah,
That's huge.
What's that? There's like a saying that I always like tell people. It's like success isn't defined by like actual success, but it's like failing and then getting back up.
Yep.
And that's success.
Absolutely. Nailed it.
I don't know. I always tell myself that.
Yeah. No, keep getting back up. Do it again. Once you learn something, like you go through a struggle or something, and you're going through that struggle because you haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you figure that out, once you get past that, that's you might find yourself there again. If you do, that's on you. You could have learned from it, and so then you go on to the next one, go on to the next one. Hopefully, it's not the same lessons over and over, and then you're able to take those lessons and turn it into something for someone else. So speaking of that, what would be something if you were to, like, growing up, like pre-entrepreneurial, what would you tell yourself if you could go back and tell yourself something right now, like if you had a time machine?
Oh, that's a lot to think about. If I had to like go back and tell myself something before I like started,
Yeah, if
video
you could tell
and
yourself
photo
one
and stuff,
thing, like just be like, hey, yo.
I don't know, like just to study more and focus more and like start earlier. Like I would go back earlier and tell myself to start as early as possible. Like as far back as that time machine goes, I will go and tell myself to like start earlier, cause
Find a little 3-year-old you and be like, here's a little camera.
Yeah,
check this out.
Yeah, definitely. Just like so that I could have more time to just like study and like learn and hone my skills, because it's time. It just takes time to learn those things.
Right. How about yourself?
If I could go back and tell myself something, I would tell him the same thing I would tell my sons. Don't pay attention to girls.
Yep.
Don't play sports. Play business. But if they want to do those things, I'm gonna encourage them. But I'm definitely I've been telling my wife's little brother that forget the girls right now, bro. Forget all that fun stuff. If you get started right now, bro, he's like, I want to say he's 15. If you get started and like trying to find your thing right now, by the time you're 25, my age, who knows where you could be, bro? And I would be telling him to get his credit right. You know what I'm saying? That's important.
It is. It's a lesson we learned.
Yeah. A little too late for some of us, but
no, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, definitely.
What does the word patience mean for you, and how has that changed since you started working for yourself and doing your own thing?
I'd say, patience is definitely a virtue. It's. I think it's very important in the field that we're in, as far as like things just don't happen overnight, and you have to like work at it. It's like you have to progress and like continue to, like we said before, like get back up from your failures and continue to go. And just being able to like wait that long for things to happen. And like I've been trying to do this kind of stuff, what I'm doing now, for it's taken 2 years to do it. It's like I didn't start out doing this kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff I would start out at the beginning was nothing compared to what I'm doing now, but still nowhere where I want to be. So there's still like, I still have a lot that I want to do, and I'm never going to be done. Yeah. But I just know that it's going to take time to get there. So gotcha. I'm not expecting it to happen tomorrow.
Right. But what like for you, I know we touched on it a little bit, but to go in a little further, like what would be not like the end game, but what would be like your biggest accomplishment, like having being in a gallery, a certain museum that you're in, or like being able to shoot with someone or for someone or of someone? Like what would it be, like being able to travel? What's like what do you see as like the pinnacle of like your career, if you could?
Being able to create the art and have the pull and like, I guess, not necessarily pull, but being able to create the art that I would like to create, and like stuff that I see, like the stuff that I'm inspired by, being able to create work at a really high like production value, like not necessarily as far as like price or whatever, but like being able to make things perfect and like being able to meticulously craft something and have the resources and people and network to do that.
Gotcha.
Like, for example, being able to shoot like a short film to promote the event that I'm coming up, being able to like, it would be cool to have like a team and a group to be able to like shoot like a narrative film. I would love to make narrative films. I think that's like definitely an end goal.
Okay.
Is being able to like shoot movies and films and stuff.
Gotcha.
That's an end goal. That's what I mean. Like being able to create something like that and have like, you ever watch the credits for a movie? Like having a group of that many people working on something you believe in. Yeah. Like, and having those people believe in you. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's the end goal.
Gotcha.
I don't know. And you get what I'm saying?
I do.
I don't know.
All right. Sweet. We're going to watch this later.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, we'll see. I'm excited for you. How about for yourself? Is there any like, it could be the same question, or like, is there any one particular person that you would like to work with that you haven't yet?
I'm answering both.
Okay.
I'm answering
good.
both.
Good.
If there was one person that I could like work with that I didn't get to work with yet, I think I would rock with. It's tough. I don't know, cause like I think I could like rock with Kendrick.
Yeah.
But Diddy's been such a big motivation that I would want to like enter in the bad boy camp, like if I could. So like I would work with either Kendrick or Diddy, and I think I'm gonna say Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say Diddy.
Man.
I think I'm gonna say
Diddy. I got
Diddy.
huge respect for Diddy, just because like as an entrepreneur, as you know, a family man, you know, like I wouldn't say like I'm his biggest fan and I don't follow him day to day. Yeah. But like knowing who he is and what he's done and where he's going, like it's a lot of respect. Definitely a lot of respect. And if I could be a fly on the wall for that, if I could do his printing, I'd be stoked. But Kendrick too, yeah, it's good.
Hey yo, if somebody get this to Diddy, tell him yo, I'll go get them the joints from across Brooklyn Bridge right now. Like what's up? And I'll walk. But but yeah, going back to if like my biggest accomplishment, if I could get like right now, all that I want in my life is to just know that I like to prepay my bills is a regular thing. Yeah. And for my wife to not have a job and be able to like do what she wants to do. Okay. And get what she wants to get. I don't really know what that is, like, but I just want to be. When I'm like in a car, my wife be like, "Man, baby, when you gonna give me a truck?" I'm like, "Oh, you wanna go today?" I wanna have like those type of conversations, and it just be like not even just like spoiled or like having all these material things, but just if you're living at that point, everything else is comfortable. Right. And like I would just rather.
And it's different for people watching too. It's different when you work for yourself. Like whether when you work for someone else, you either have opportunities or you work for it, or maybe you're struggling for it and then you're hoping to get it. Like it's different when you make your money yourself, like when you're doing it. Yeah. So like the vibe is when you first start out and you start working for yourself and you realize that someone's willing to pay you for something that you do differently than like just working at a job or working hourly. It's way different because you're able to. There's respect for one. Mm-hmm. The respect you get is a whole lot different, and that's worth the start out where sometimes you give it away for free or you do it lower cost and you get your foot in the door however you have to. It's worth that because you're able to get something way bigger at the end. The end game is like huge. So like when you're talking about being able to be comfortable and be able to be financially stable, like people that might be watching at home that don't have that entrepreneurial spirit, like may not understand. Like that's something that us as people that work for ourselves, like we don't have someone that's writing a check. Like we don't have, like we have to work for it every day. And like like you were saying at the beginning, like if you don't show up to the game, if you don't play it, if you don't win it, like that's your rent. Like that's your like exactly. You gotta work for it. So like when it's just us, we're the only ones out there. like it makes a difference every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So to be at that point and to be successful in that, right, to be able to say like, oh yeah, I could get you a car or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? And like that really does mean something.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, you have to, people think that it's like, oh, you work for yourself, you must make a ton of money. It's like,
You don't pay any taxes. Yes,
Right.
bro. Yes, we do.
yeah, exactly. So it does take a lot of work. It does take time, and but once we do get it, we're pretty dang proud of it too.
Yeah.
So for sure. You got something for that?
One of my favorite quotes. I don't know why I'm full of quotes today, but
Okay.
if you aren't building your own dreams, you're helping someone else build theirs.
Exactly.
Word.
But
Word.
just wanted to say-
But as entrepreneurs, just to throw that back, if we don't have people helping us, we can't get to where we want either. So it's worth it to work with other people. There is a place for everyone. Everyone, you know, if you can give people a piece of success with yourself, maybe they, you know, don't have that spirit and they don't want to become, you know, their own boss, but they do want to take part in what you're doing. You're able to share that with someone that right.
Same dream that you. If someone
Exactly.
shares the same dream that you have,
Right.
it's nice to be able to be the leader of that. And like,
Absolutely, and you can work with other people.
And-
Like I have a team of people that I work
Yeah.
with, and like it doesn't bother me that some of them do have the entrepreneurial ideas, and they you know they're on that level, and that's awesome. And some of them don't, and that's totally cool too. They have their own place, and none of them are above or below the other. It's just different. And then what we're trying to do here is like express more entrepreneurs. What is it we're thinking? What is it we're doing? Where are we going? And how do we do what we do so that we can have people that ask us questions or want to work with us or whatever. I'm trying to shine a light on Pittsburgh and what's going on inside of it. So real quick, because I know I asked a question, what's someone that you would work with if you could, like if there's anyone out there? So,
okay. Yeah. If there's someone I could work with, there's so many people I would love to work with. There's so many inspirations to me, especially just people I like find on Instagram that
Yeah.
are just like, they like do the same kind of stuff I do.
Right.
That like, but they're. Who would I love to work with? Like,
Somebody we didn't work with.
yes. Who would you? What, you got someone you'd want to work with again?
Yeah, if I could, I'd want to be Wiz's cameraman.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be the shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's him and Dan Folger's why I picked up a camera.
Yeah.
Like I would.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah, I don't know. There's so many people I would love to work with. I can't name a single one.
You could. This is gonna be on YouTube. You could leave a comment later
Okay, yeah.
if you
I'll
get
leave
that
a
answer.
comment.
And speaking of which, if you were to ask people that are watching right now, if you were to be able to ask them a question, what question would you ask them?
What did you do today to improve your life or your business or just your quality of life? What did you do today to try to improve that?
You got one already.
What would I ask people? I'm not good with on the spot.
You can handle it, man. You're good. You're good.
I stare at like an email for like 3 hours before I send it. It could be one sentence,
Yeah.
but if it's like someone I'm like worrying about,
Right.
it takes a while.
Where do you draw the most of your inspiration? This could be the question people are going to answer for Metro. Where do you get your inspiration?
Where do I get my inspiration? I just like thinking about the future and technology and science, and I like that whole field is my inspiration because
Okay.
I like to. That's I guess my like log line. I like to share my enthusiasm
Yes.
for technology in the future. I'm very optimistic about the future, and like people are worried about AI and stuff. Like it could go places downhill, but like
Yeah.
I think technology is beneficial if you use it in the right way,
Absolutely.
and I like to share that
Cool.
enthusiasm with people.
Cool. So you shared with us some of your social media, like Instagrams and stuff like that. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
Find me mainly on Instagram at metro.digital,
Okay.
and or my website, which is metro.digital. It's like http //metro.digital. There's no .com or
That's it.
anything. It's
Okay.
a custom
Nice.
domain.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then how about you?
If you want to find me on social media, Art Like Us on everything except Twitter because somebody has my name right now, but it's Art Like Us _ on Twitter. My website is artlike.us. Art Like Us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I always appreciate creative website names.
Where it fits so perfect, I had to, bro. Like I had to. I'm on IG, Facebook, and just Google it.
Yeah. Real quick, while you still have the mic, how did you get the name Art Like Us, and what does it mean? Like,
This
this is our ending question right here.
All right, and this is deep. This is heartfelt.
Okay.
It started because I was becoming a father,
Okay.
and me and my wife came together and we created our first son.
Yeah.
And it was like, and at the time I was still an artist, so I was like, I'm coming together with people making these things, and I just came with my wife and made this child. So this is the art that's like us, like me and my wife. And then as my faith got stronger, it was God made you in His image. What did you make in yours?
Right.
Behold, this is the art like us.
Nice.
Like so, like that's like it's like real close to me. So like, it fits other things because like it's a community thing at my end goal for it, but it's like it's just real. It's my other baby. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, I love it.
Love it. Awesome. Thanks for both for being on.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Word. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night. This has been Thoughtful Discussions with Josh Snider.